We all know that you're great at what you do, otherwise you wouldn't be here. But greatness alone does not get clients, right? Visibility does. It's that old saying of if a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound? Nobody knows because nobody was there to hear it. Same with your business. If nobody sees you, it's almost like you don't exist, or your business at least. I'm sure you do, but your business at least doesn't exist. And so we need to change that. We need to make sure that you're getting out there to the people you love. I've talked to a lot of people who are like, it's just not my personality. It's not who I am. I just want to touch on that real quick. I am loud and I speak fast and I'm excited, but I'm really not an outgoing person. I'm not really that kind of person. I've met people that are less than me. So I'm not, if you're like, oh, but I'm like nowhere close to you, that's okay. I'm not talking about that. You don't have to get on and be loud and be excited and whatever, like me. You just have to get on and be you. People who are attracted to me may not be attracted to you. People who are attracted to you may not be attracted to me. You want to be you live so that people see who you are. So it has nothing to do with how, blah, you are or are not. That has nothing to do with it. Number one. Number two, if you are not the type of person, which I've heard people say before, I want you to think about the business that you're in. Because this is not if you build it, they will come. This is a business and you have to attract people to you. And in our business, being a coach, it's to you. You are a big part of your business, right? So you can either become a corporation and hire, the actors and actresses or the face of the business, because that is exactly what every corporate company is trying to do. They're trying to be you, right? They want to be the personal brand, but they can't because they're so big. That's what they're trying to do. You have the advantage. You are you. So either you're the face of your company or you partner with somebody else that wants to be the face of your company. It is what it is, but keep in mind, if you hire somebody to be the face of your company, and then they come to you, is that going to be what they want? You need to think about that. And so it's a whole different ball game when you are like, well, that's not who I am, and I'm not going to do that. Nobody wants to get online and show up every day and be out there. It's not comfortable for anybody, believe it or not. There might be a couple of people in this world, but most people, it's not really comfortable until it is. And when is that? When you do it enough times so that it's like, okay, I'm going to go live again. I am so comfortable going live now, even after, spending 30 minutes frustrated as all get out. You can still get on here and be happy. Why? Because once I'm live, I like it. I like it. And if you are a coach, once you are live and you get used to it, you will like it too. Because what are you doing? You're helping. You're giving your information, your value, your knowledge to somebody else so that they can have an aha moment, so that they can be in the spotlight, so that they can thrive and shine and do whatever it is that they need to do. But in order for them to do that, they have to be able to find you. And there are 1,000,001 gurus out there that will tell you 1,000,001 ways to be able to do it, faceless and never. And if you think that you can do it that way, I say go for it. But I guarantee you, the people you can name on your hands who are successful, you know that what they're doing is they're showing up, whether it's live or in video, but they are showing up. You hear their voice, you see their face, you hear their ums, their ahs, their smiles, their laughs, their embarrassing moments, whatever it is, they are showing up. So being visible isn't about shouting, which sounds like I'm doing right now. It's about shining, not shouting, but shining in a way that no one can ignore. You need to stand up and tell them what you think about, because if you don't stand up, somebody else is standing up, and you've heard them. Just like I'm telling you, all those people who are saying, do the faceless videos. That's okay. Don't worry about showing up. Or the other ones that you'll hear all the time is, you don't really have to do all this stuff. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You have to do it. It's work and it's hard work. That's why when you look around, you're like, wow, it's such a crowded space, such a crowded space. But really, it's not. There are very few people that pop out and really put in the time, the effort, and the work that it takes, because it's not easy to get here. Will it be easy later? And can you get to a point where you've built that foundation? Yes. You can use your stuff over and over. You can evolve and maybe not do it as often as you're doing it now. But you have to start where you have to start, and it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? All right, so let's jump into it. What is the invisible expert trap? You get it? Being invisible, right? So you're known, but you're not remembered. That could be, right? Somebody knows who you are, but they don't remember what you do or any of that. That's not good either, right? That's not good. Like, I don't want people to say that that girl with all the energy and she smiles a lot and she laughs a lot, but then they have no idea that I help you with your personal brand and I help you get visible. That's not going to help me out, right? So you're seen, but not sought after. Ooh, that one kind of stings a little bit more even, right? I don't want a lot of people who see me, they know what I do, and they still don't want to work with me. That's not that great either, right? So maybe it's hopefully not to what I just said. Maybe it's they see me all the time, but they have no idea what I do. So they don't seek me out when they need to get it done. Or you're respected, but not requested. Again, these are all different types of scenarios, and it's how you put yourself out there, what you're saying, and how you're saying it. And it is really important. It's got to be intentional and it's got to be strategic. People need to know who you are, who you help, how you help them, and how they can get in touch with you and when they can get in touch with you and all of that, right? So a lot of that, like ambiguity, like not being able to know who you are and what you're all about, is like maybe that you're way too broad. Like, I just help everybody do everything, right? That's like way too broad. Maybe that one. Or your message just blends into the background. So if you use ChatGPT a lot, you can hear the same things over and over and over again. And then it just starts sounding like blah, 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 Charlie Brown, blah, 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 right? So maybe your message is just blending in. And I'm not saying don't use ChatGPT. I love ChatGPT. I'm saying don't sound like everybody else. Have your own message, your own thoughts, your own formulas and systems that you use to do things. You post consistently, but not compellingly. When you're just posting to post, or you're just grabbing people's attention to grab people's attention, or going viral with cat video, none of that is going to help your video. None of that is going to help your business, right? So it's not just about going viral. It's not just about being seen or being there all the time, right? And I mean, I know, like, you're like, all publicity, bad publicity could be good publicity because it's publicity. Maybe not. I mean, if you go viral for cat videos, I've said this a million times, if you go viral for cat videos, but you don't sell cat products, if you've got a million people looking at your stuff, but none of them are interested in what you're coaching about, how does that help you? It doesn't. It actually, it does the exact opposite. It hurts you. Why? Because now whatever platform you're on sees that you've got all these people looking at your stuff and they hate it because they're not clicking on it. They're not sharing it. They're not consuming it. Why? Because they want your cat videos and you're not putting them out there. That's why we have to be very consistent in, like, our pillars and our topics and our themes. Everything that we talk about needs to be the same, around relative type thing. All right. So why it hurts so bad? Well, I just named a couple of them, right? But there's some deeper reasons. Watching other coaches, like in that sameness, when you see other coaches and that they're doing stuff, they've got less experience with the clients, or they don't necessarily, maybe it's not even less experience, maybe it's less knowledge or love for the clients, something like that, right? So when you're watching others with less do more, that hurts. I know, I hear you. Or maybe it's that you're feeling like you're always creating. You're on like that, the rat race, right? You left the 9 to 5 rat race to come on to the content creation rat race, but you're not converting. And you're like, I can't stop doing this because this is how they're telling me to do this, but this isn't happening. So now you're like, right? All right. Or maybe you're questioning your offer. Oh God, don't let me say it out loud, but discounting, right? Maybe you're questioning your offer. Maybe you're questioning your content. Maybe you're even questioning your talent. Don't do it. Don't do it. Sorry. Got to have one at least every time. All right. So the truth is, you're not behind. You're just invisible in the ways that really count. So we're going to go through my proprietary framework. I hope you have your own as well. So that you can break out of that invisibility. You don't need to be louder. You need to shine. You know, I always end my emails with "can't wait to see you shine." All right, so S. Oh, I already gave you the acronym. So sorry. If you were playing along, I always give it to you at the end, but I got excited. All right, so the first letter is S. Specific positioning. Specific positioning. Stop saying what everybody else does. That's all that means. Be you. Have your own opinions. Say out loud that you can do faceless videos, but not only faceless videos, right? If you're going to be a coach or consultant. All right, so stop saying what everybody else says. Get ultra specific about who you serve and what you solve. And a million people ask me this, and it doesn't mean that if you go on this, you can't work with this person. That's not what that means. It means to be able to get in somebody's head, you have to understand that person. And if you're speaking to a man who's in his 50s and he's a corporate executive, and you're talking about his workouts and what he needs to say, your physical fitness expert. You're talking about his workouts, what he needs to eat, what he needs to do, what his dreams and aspirations are, what he's moving towards, right? If you're talking about that and hoping for a 20-year-old to hop on, more than likely that's not going to happen, right? Because when you speak to the 20-year-old, you know, maybe what you're talking about is walking out there to make sure that the hot girls are all seeing you, or, you know, that you look good in your jeans at the clubs on the weekends, whatever it is. Like, your messaging to them is totally different than the executive who's probably not going to the clubs on the weekends anymore, right? Who probably doesn't spend an hour and a half in the gym like a 20-something might, right? This guy over here he's got, you know, 15, 20 good minutes, maybe 30 if you're really rocking it. So you need to let him get in and out. This other guy, on the other hand, right? The 50-something-year-old, the executive, he can afford to get his food flown in, to order his food, to do whatever, you know, to take the supplements, to do all the stuff. This one may not be able to do that. So you want to speak to people totally different. And it doesn't mean you can't help both. It just means you're not a corporation yet. You are not big enough yet. You only have so much time in a day. So speak to this person or this person until you've saturated that market. So you've gotten every single male 20-something that is interested in your type of workout or your type of nutrition or your type of whatever it is that you're doing. Until you know that you've hit them all, don't even worry about this guy. You can always add him next year or in 3 years or in 5 years. But if you do this one well, you probably never even need to add that one. All right. Off that soap wagon. Doesn't mean you can't, though. All right, so action step. Write your I help statement that makes your dream client say, that's me. And if you haven't been watching all my other videos, just drop niche or something like that below, and I will get one of those over to you. I have a couple different worksheets that'll help you do that. Next letter, H, hook-driven messaging. Hook, grab them in, right? If you start, I used to do this a lot. And in my lives, if you watch my lives, that is not how you do a good hook, right? Getting on and being like, oh my God, I can't figure out the software. It's what I do every single time. That is not how you do a live, right? You also don't chat GPT and say it verbatim if your chat GPT is, some chat GPTs are really dialed in and can talk like you, but some are not. So vanilla content doesn't convert either. And vanilla is just like everybody else, right? Plain Jane. All right. So you need to speak to real emotions and urgent desires. All right. Let's talk about the guys I was talking about before. The 50 something, he's a high exec. Maybe his urgent need is to de-stress, right? He's got a lot going on. He needs to get it done in a little bit of time. He's starting to lack confidence in himself because he's starting to show around the middle, and now he's starting to lack confidence when he stands up in front of the room, and he's really feeling it, and it's starting to take a toll on his success in his corporate position. So he really needs this. Do you see how, like, we're talking about his emotions? Like, he's laying awake at night being like, oh my God, like starting to doubt how great he is at his job. And it's really stemming from, the belly going over the pants, because now he's starting to feel like lack confidence, and that spills out into other things. If you can hit that nail on the head right there and get him to be like, oh, that's me. That's exactly what happens, right? Then you can hook him in. Then you can hook him in. So speak to somebody's real emotions. If you start talking about all that heavy duty stuff and you're talking to the 20-year-old, maybe that's not what's going on in 20-year-old's mind, right? Maybe he needs the confidence to walk into that club with his head held high. Maybe he needs the confidence to go get his first job, right? So the scenarios are different. Everything is different. But their emotions are what really matter. And I know you're going to say like, oh, men never show emotions. Doesn't mean they don't have them. They don't feel them. They do. They 100% do. They have, that. Why am I repeating it? All right. So you need to appeal to them in a way that appeals to them. So that relates directly to them. I hope this is hitting home. So their real emotions, their urgent desires. And again, they're not going to be the same. So use pattern interrupts. You've seen those videos where they jump up out of the video. All right, I can't make myself do that. It's not saying I don't recommend it. I mean, I think it's great. Showing up in different places. That is amazing. And again, I am like flojo. Like I get lazy when it comes to stuff like that. I love making content, but I love making it when I'm at my computer and I'm like in my flow, right? When I'm outside, I'm not in my flow. Like it gets me all out of whack. So I don't like to do it like that. One of these days, I'm going to talk myself into doing it more, but use pattern interrupts. So if you're not doing one of those things like jumping up or, doing it in a different area, you could do it in a different area in your house too. Again, I don't do that either, but you need to have the hook. That could be the pattern interrupt, right? You're going to draw them in with the curiosity, something that speaks directly to them, the emotions. You're going to use belief shifting language. Because if you've ever studied copywriting or if you've ever studied marketing, that's what we're doing. They believe that this isn't for them or that they're like this because of this, right? We need to shift that belief so that now they're like, oh, yeah, aha moments, right? What I would say I live for, the aha moments. When they say, ooh, yeah, or ah, right? You see that. That is when you can really, really, when you've hit them, that's when you're using that belief shifting language. And the only way to do that is to hit emotions, use situations that really resonate with them. All right, so action step for this one. Rewrite one post or one of your reels, one of your videos, one of your live streams, whatever it is. Rewrite the headline live to make it scroll stopping. I don't know why I said live, but rewrite the headline to make it scroll stopping and drop it down below. I want to see what your new headline is going to look like. Drop it down below. And if you want to put a link to the post of the video or something, that'd be so cool. And then remember, you can repost that with your new Like I could record this whole thing, right? Chop off the beginning and add a new beginning to it. All new video. All right. The next letter. So we've done SH. We're on I. Intentional platform presence. What does that mean? You're not a corporation, right? Maybe you feel like you can't be everywhere yet. Maybe you don't have team. I know people say repurpose it, repurpose. Even repurposing is hard when it's just you. Like just getting out that one piece of content may be hard when it's just you. So you need to have the systems in place. You need to have a lot of things in place. So focus on that one place, add the second place, and then add the rest, right? Don't be everywhere. I think you need to be everywhere. So what was that? Who's that talking, right? I do believe that you need to be everywhere when you can be everywhere. So as quickly as possible, get those systems in place. One of the things that I talk about a lot in my programs. It's huge, right? Get those systems in place, even when you're a one-man band. Why? Because it makes it so much easier to say, hey, here, do this, here, do this, here, do this, here, do this. If you've got it systematized on how you do it. So get those systems in place. And before you're there, be where it counts. If you know that you have the most conversations or the most patience or the most time or the most, whatever your criteria is on Facebook, be on Facebook. Don't listen to the hype, right? Everybody's like, oh, Facebook's dying. Facebook groups are dying. Really? Because if you look at it, there's still a lot of people on Facebook, more than most of the other platforms still. So don't believe the hype, right? A lot of people have a lot of interest in some of the things that they say. But if you look around, it's still the best platform for groups out there. It's just how you do it. All right. Optimize your bio and links to showcase your authority. I'm in the middle of this right now. I think mine are like half changed and half not. Shoemaker's daughter. Do as I say, not as I do. But update your bio and your links to showcase your authority. This is important. You want people, remember, when you, and use your personal profile if you're using Facebook, and everybody's like, eh, but you have to. If you comment on somebody else's thing, you're commenting as you, not as your business, right? If you're in a group, it's you, not your business most of the time. Some of them let the businesses in. But most of the time, the things that you're doing it as you, not your business. When you're DMing as you, not your business. So that means every time somebody looks at you, they're looking at the profile on your personal profile. So make sure you think about that. All right, action step. Audit your current bios. Do they scream expert or whisper just another coach? Are you just another coach? Or do they scream expert? Which pop up, right? Expert. So I absolutely love doing audits. I have my own little system. One of them is called BAM. So if you want one, I do them for free. So if you want one of those, let me know. Drop audit. I'd love to do that for you. It's fun for me. It's good practice. I love getting your feedback. So drop audit. All right, where are we at? Shine, SHI. We're on N. Niche aligned content. Authority is built with aligned repetition. I'm going to repeat it. Authority is built with aligned repetition over and over and over and over and over again. Why? Number one, you know what the algorithms are like. Not everybody sees everything that you do. So you need to repeat yourself 1,000,001 times. Number two, why do you think McDonald's still puts commercials out there? You think they're wasting money? Everybody knows who McDonald's is, right? Everybody. I mean, everybody, everywhere in the entire universe knows who McDonald's is. So why on earth do they spend a lot of money on ads? Top of mind, authority. They want to know I'm the big dog. So where I live, this is almost funny, but this is authority. A little up, but this is showing up. Okay, this is showing up. So where I live, there's a main street. There is a McDonald's like 6 blocks that way. There's a McDonald's about like 6 blocks and then 3 blocks that way. And then there's another one about maybe 15 blocks that way. Well, that's one of the main streets. So it's about 15 blocks that way. This is a main street too. 15 blocks that way. So what happened was Burger King and Popeyes, I don't know like if they have this where you are, but they like here, they opened up a place together. So they opened up a place together. When they opened up that place together, what did McDonald's do? They closed the place 15 miles out and they built, and I'm not kidding you, it's an entire block. And I thought they were building like a plaza and they were going to put McDonald's like, you know, like an anchor store at the bottom. No, it's the entire block is McDonald's. It's like this massive McDonald's, and they built it literally in front of the Burger King and the Popeyes. Why? Authority. They wanted to say, this is my space. This is my block. This is my street. And they are taking that away from them, right? So authority. And one of the ways you get it is by aligned repetition, showing up all of the time, showing up, showing up, showing up, but not with your cat videos. No, 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 not with your cat videos. With your message, what you think, what you believe, what you truly want your audience to know or to do, or to how you want them to act, whatever it is, that's you showing up. So that's niche aligned content. And it doesn't always have to be teaching. It can be belief shifting, or it can be, you know, other ways of putting yourself out there. People like to hear things in story. People like to hear things with facts, different ways. But build your authority by showing up and saying it over and over and over and over and over again in a bunch of different ways. One of the things that I just recently built for Clients on Repeat, which is my signature program. One of the things that I recently built is this, I can't even think what I called it right now, but it's like this 100 times matrix. And it literally takes one hook or one story, and it puts it through like 10 different ways to say it, 10 and 10, and it comes out with 100. And that's just for one story. So like, you'll never run out of content ever, because there's so many different ways to say it. And if you think about this, I was in education for a long time, or still am, but in education for a long time. And one of the things in education is people learn differently. People like to learn differently. So some people like video, some people like reading, some people like audio. That's why video is like the best of the best. You can put your captions on the bottom. You can put your description and write it. You know, you can do all sorts of things with video. They see your face, they hear your voice, blah, blah, blah. That's why it's like the best. And then give them, like in mine, I try to give you activities so that you stay active. You know, you're following the acronym, taking notes, whatever. That's the kinesthetic. Anyway, if you did it in all of those different ways, like just the same content, but in different ways, right? That is a bunch of different content repeating the same thing, but people receive it differently. And you can do it over and over and over and over and over again. Never, ever, ever run out of content, because you can do the same 5 things over and over and over again. And that's 500 pieces of content. That's all what I just said. All right, so your content should reinforce your niche over and over again. You want them to know who you are, what you do, how you help, right? So use pillar topics that match your ideal client's journey, their journey. So a lot of times we teach what we want to teach. So I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were telling me they are launching something in 2 months because they're creating it right now. And I was like, don't do that, right? Your clients will tell you what it is, but you also should know more or less what are the steps. So if your clients start here at A and you want to move them to B, what are the steps that they need to go through, right, to get there? So I know that I help you with your personal brand, and I help you get visible and get clients with your personal brand. So what is that first step? strategic positioning. That is what it is. It's strategic positioning, because you can't do that. You can't get here without strategic positioning. It is the first step. So I use my STAR framework, if you've ever heard me talk about it, in content and clients on repeat. All right. So action step, list 3 content themes you want to be known for. Are you posting about them? And are you posting about them over and over and over and over? All right. Last one, E, shine, E, experience-driven brand. So experts talk about their work. Leaders show it. So if you've ever seen people writing on the whiteboard, which I know I don't do, and I have my whiteboard. It's, again, I have my space weird issues. But anyway, if you can show people what to do, if you can talk about how somebody did what you're doing, right? Your own stories, your own values, transformations that you've had, that they've had, even that the market has had, if you don't have it in your business yet, right? That shows people the path. That shows people that it's possible. Why is that so valuable? And why is that so important? Because a lot of times people don't believe that it can work, or they don't believe it can work for them. So being able to show somebody, hey, there was this other person that didn't like to do video, that didn't like to show up, that didn't, and then, they started with 1 video a week, and that was it, and it was 3 minutes long. I've had plenty of clients do this. So I have a product that I do with the higher level, with higher level clients, where I will interview them, ask them questions, and then I chop up the video, and I ask them exactly the questions that I want them to do for like a reel or for a longer form video, and then I chop it up for them and give it back. Why? Because a lot of people are very easy. If you ask them questions and they know their stuff, they can talk about it. But getting up in front of a blank video a lot of times is really difficult for a lot of people. So I'll interview them, get them in the groove, that type of thing. So find your friend to do it, however you want to do it. All right, action step. Share one personal story that aligns with your message. I don't know if you've ever heard me talking about this before, but I encourage you, my clients, everyone, to keep an Excel spreadsheet and write something every single day that happened that day and try to relate it to your business. And the reason I say Excel is this. You can write the story in one cell, right? But then next to it, how it relates to your business. And then next to that, some keywords that you think it would work for. Because sometimes one story can work for, a bunch of different angles or keywords. Like it can be motivational, it can be proof, it can be whatever, a lot of different ways. So think about some stories and how you can use that in your business. And it can be your story, somebody else's stories. One of my clients does trauma. She's a trauma coach. So I sent her yesterday, I saw this post about Sally Fields. I had no idea that she had past trauma in her life. And it was a whole post about her past trauma. And I sent it to my client. I said, hey, this is a good post for you. You can look up Sally Fields, figure it out, and talk about her and then how she got over it. Because people need to see, hey, other people have suffered this. And I mean, she's gotten all sorts of, accolades and stuff. If you don't know who she is, she's like an amazing actress. So if you could show how she overcame it, or how she was famous and was doing well and dying on the inside and then finally got over it. That's actually what happened with her. So if you could show all of that, it allows people to see themselves in it. And now they can start believing, oh, really? Yeah, that's me. I can do that too. If they can do that, I can do that. That's why you really kind of need to show people how they will get there. Visuals are great for this. So on LinkedIn, there's this one guy, and oh, I should have looked this up, but I wasn't planning on telling the story. But there's a guy that does a lot of infographics, the ones that are very visual. These are really great. If you can do an infographic showing people the steps through what it is that you are talking about or that you do. That's why I use acronyms all the time, right? Because it kind of shows the flow or the steps that I want somebody to do on their journey. So if you know shine, you're like, okay, I need to do this first. Then I need to do H. Then I need to do I, right? You can go through it. Speaking of going through it, if you want the worksheets that go with this, drop shine and I will send them over. I can't think of what I called it. I think it's like shine visibility map or something like that. Anyway, if you want that, drop shine and I will send it over to you. If you want an audit on your step, drop audit. Those are fun. Or DM me, just DM me audit, and I'd love to take a look at what you're doing. But the shine visibility map, it's your roadmap, right? It shows you how to stand out and get seen by the clients who are already looking for you. Oh, that's like that last part is like a whole nother thing for a whole nother day. The ones that are already looking for you, right? All right. So share one personal story that aligns with your message. And I can't wait to see you shine. Send it back. All right. So drop audit if you want an audit and drop shine if you want the worksheet. Have an amazing rest of your day. Ciao, ciao.